Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chelsea if you are new, and if you're not new, then welcome back. So we kind of have a similar setup. I'm at the same location that I was at when I did my testimony video of God told me who my spouse was, but it didn't work out. I wanted to come on here. First of all, let me say, we got to do our pleasantries. So go ahead and hit subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss an upload. Shout out to everyone who has watched my latest testimony videos as well as subscribed to the channel. Those of you who have joined the email list and even reached out to me via email list, definitely want to say shout out to you guys. Love you guys so much. I pray that this channel really encourages you to trust God, to obey God, and to see the fruit of your obedience to God in your life, right? And so yes, if you would like to join our community over here, then again, hit subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, click the link in my description box to join the email list, and check your emails for the confirmation, so that way you can make sure that you get the emails. And yeah, now that we've gotten that out of the way, today's video is a little bit different, and I'm going to be sharing with you all my journey of coming to Minnesota. Whoa, right? Minnesota, like what? I know. So I am, if you don't know, I'm originally from Georgia. Shout out to the GA. I went to school there, lived there, grew up there, went to Georgia State University in downtown Atlanta, so shout out to my Panther fam. And yeah, in 2021, God told me to move to LA, which that testimony video is also on my channel. I'll link it up here as well for you guys to check it out. And that was like my biggest faith move thus far at that time, was, moving across country to a whole new city, whole new state by myself with no family, none of that, and literally trusting God to make a way. And when I say he did, like even the apartment that I got, me being able to work in media and entertainment, which is what God called me to do, working as a background actress. I have some videos of that on my channel. Even working for one of the top movie studios in Hollywood. I also had a chance to do that while in LA as well. And so God has been faithful, man. He has been so faithful. And now we are on another faith journey, and this time he's like, I want you to go to Minnesota, and I want you to focus on full-time ministry. And so yeah, and I get questions a lot, well, why Minnesota? Or you can do ministry from anywhere, all of that. And though the answers are factual, the truth of the matter is that that is not what God has instructed me to do. He has instructed me to be in Minnesota, and to do ministry here in the way that he's called me to do it. And so that requires me going against the grain of what everyone else is thinking or feeling or suggesting, and literally being like, God, I trust you. I'm not going to fear the faces of men. I'm not going to cower. I'm not going to bow. I'm not going to disobey you to appease men, because when you do that, you get in trouble with God. And I ain't trying to get in trouble with God, because my prayer is that I would fear the Lord reverently. And yeah, so that's a part of the journey. And when I tell y'all, God has been so faithful. Like, I honestly didn't even want to share this part of the journey, because I always thought that, you should wait until you're outside of the situation before you share it. And for some people, that could be the case. But for me, God is like, no, he's like, I've called you to share in real time, real moments, what's happening, what's going on. And so yeah, I came March 6th actually of 2023 is when God told me that he wants me to move to Minnesota, because that's where he needs me, right? And so by the end of the day, March 6th, I put in my 2-week notice for my job. But I also began to plan out, okay, well, I got to put my stuff in storage, which God had already started telling me to start packing my apartment at the beginning of the year and things like that. So I was already making preparations without even having a location confirmed, right? God told me in January 2023 that it was time to move out of LA. And I'm like, okay, God, you know, where do you want me to go? Like, I have some ideas of the type of apartment or type of place that I want to live in, you know, but, you know, you let me know where you want me to go, right? He wasn't really saying anything, but I was still being obedient to start making preparations. February 14th, God tells me, you know, put in your 30-day notice for your apartment, because I definitely was procrastinating on that, because I was like, you know, I didn't have a location confirmed, so I was like, it's no point in me putting in my 30-day notice. But I put it in, even without having a location confirmed, trusting that God would give it to me, and let me know. Like, he's not going to leave me stranded, abandoned, without, like, no, that's not the God that I serve, right? And so put that in February 14th. March 6th is when God tells me that he wants me to move to Minnesota. And that was literally a week before I was scheduled to move out of my apartment. And so God is just, again, he's so faithful. And as soon as he revealed that to me, when I tell you, it was like the floodgates open and things begin to happen so speedily, that it was just like a whirlwind, right? Like I said, March 6th, he told me that. I put in my 2-week notice at work. By March 13th, I had movers come and pack up my apartment and put my things in storage, because he did tell me that I would have my things in storage and I would kind of be, you know, on the go a little bit, while I get settled in my new place. But that it wouldn't take long, right? March 14th, I turned in my keys. And then March 16th is when I moved to, let me check the dates real quick. Yeah, March 16th is when I took a one-way flight with my dog here to Minnesota, not having an apartment, not having anything like solidified, just only knowing like when I get there, like, you know, I'm going to have to be in an Airbnb, hotels, whatever. And even getting to that point, God, when I tell you, God literally had me in mind. He remembered me, right? Because he literally placed me on the hearts of people that said, hey, you know, I don't know what's going on, but God just told me to sow this into you, give this to you. He told me to pay for this for you. And all of these things that I'm looking like, God, what? And it came by way of me opening my mouth, right? Sharing my testimony, not just here on YouTube, but just in general, like just sharing the goodness of God with people and him, you know, using them to bless me. And so it was just powerful and amazing. And so, yeah, one-way flight here. I've been staying at like Airbnbs, hotels, and I thank God that up until this point I have been taking Uber because my Uber is connected to my Marriott Bonvoy. So every time I would drive Uber, or not drive, but ride with Uber, I would get points, and those points help to cover like hotel stays, things like that. So it was so, like, God was just so amazing. And even when I came here, I ended up having to drive down to Houston, Texas, for the Covered by God Houston, which was so powerful. Like, I'm still chewing on what happened in Houston, Texas, right? And even Chicago. And so, yeah, did that, came back, and so this is like the beginning of week 2 for me here in Minnesota. Week 1 was wild. Okay, if you're not part of my email list, I literally just shared a testimony email today about not bowing, right? Like, even in the face of adversity, even when things are piling up and your back feels like it's against the wall, do not bow to Satan. Do not cower. Do not run, right? Allow God to be God in your life. And that's a message even for me. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, like week 1, the enemy was coming for me. You know what I'm saying? But I did not bow. I did not cower. I said, God, this is your word. You brought me out here. I didn't ask for this. I didn't call myself out here for this. Like, you brought me out here, so you will provide and you will make a way. And he literally did it every single day. Like manna from heaven. God provided every single day, right? And even now, like, God has been, it's been a miracle March for me. Every single day has been a miracle. Every single day has been a miracle. Okay. So I'm just like, wow, God, like you really see me, you know me, you hear me, you want this for me, you are with me, right? And so he wanted me to share this in real time with you all, because a lot of times when we are in church culture, or even as Christians, we can get conditioned to mix ourselves with the world's way of doing things, right? And so when God calls us to move or to do things, we think, oh, I got to plan this out. I got to do this. And how am I going to get this done? And you start to figure it out in your own strength. And God is like, in this season, I'm not requiring you to understand it. I'm not requiring you to have it all figured out. I'm requiring you to obey me. Be a first responder. Obey me at the first, when I first tell you. Don't let me have to tell you more than once, right? Like that's where God is right now, right? Especially with me. And so in that, I'm learning, like, a lot of Christians have grown mixed in you know, thinking that, oh, I gotta have preparation. Now granted, don't be out here just doing things in your own strength either way, right? But at the end of the day, seek the face of God, inquire of the Lord. That's what David did in the scriptures. He inquired of the Lord every time he was propositioned with battle, right? And when he would inquire of the Lord would tell him, do this, use this strategy, right? I'm with you here. You will conquer them. You will be victorious. This is how you do it, right? In the same way, we have to do that every single day. It's our daily bread. Inquiring of the Lord, Lord, what do you want me to do today? Who do you want me to speak to today? What do you want me to tell them today, right? Who do you want me to reach out to today, right? Like, that's literally what God calls us to do. And so, yeah, so I'm just sharing that with you right now. I'm getting ready to check out of my hotel literally in like a minute. And at this moment in time, I do not have anything solidified as far as like where I'm gonna stay next, but I trust that the Lord is with me. He will provide. He will make a way. He will give me wisdom. He will give me strategy. Okay, and I will come back on and share with you all what God is doing and what he has done and how he's making a way. And I'm excited for that. I'm excited to be on this journey and to be able to be on this journey with the Lord, that the Lord would entrust me with such a responsibility and task and assignment, regardless of if people understand it or not, you know. And I just thank God for the favor that is on my life, his hand being upon my life, his protection, his provision, and all of these things. And just even the people that I get to minister to while here in Minnesota, virtually, physically, in person, you know. If you're part of my email list, then you know that my media company, Zion Studios, we create content to be the message of Christ, and we also use financial resources to spread the message of Christ. So we have partnered monthly with a missionary out in Dubai, so we support missionary work. And we also support incarcerated brothers and sisters to do Bible studies and discipleship. So I'm super excited about those things. We have some other partnerships coming up in the near future as well. And so if you would like to partner with me on this journey, partner with the Lord, if he leads you to sow anything, if he leads you to be a blessing to me, then check out the description box of this video. And all of that information will be there in the ways that you can partner with us. Again, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. I'll be posting more videos like this, just updating you guys on the journey and what God is saying, what God is doing. And yeah, so just make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss the upload, okay? Because this journey is wild, okay? But it's wildly good, and God is just faithful, right? So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, join the email list, because I also send out emails quite frequently, and just so that way you're also able to stay updated on things that I may not share here on YouTube. You will get in my email list. When you sign up for the email list, check your emails to make sure that you confirm your subscription. That way you can make sure that you definitely will get the emails. And then again, if you are led to sow anything at all, like there is no amount. I didn't even want to ask for this, you know what I'm saying? But the Lord was like, I've commanded people to bless you. And so you need to open up your mouth and I will fill it. And so, yeah, if the Lord has led you to bless me in any way or to partner with Zion Studios, then all of the giving options will be down below, and all of those proceeds will go to what the Lord is doing with me, through me, and with Zion Studios, because we are one. And so, yeah, I'm super excited. I pray that this encourages you to trust God again, to obey God speedily, quickly, completely, and to know that he is faithful, that he will not leave you, he will not forsake you, and that you must be in right standing, right alignment with God, and diligently seek him, because he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. And so, yeah, I'll check in with you guys tomorrow, maybe later, we'll see. And yeah, I'll check in with y'all later. Peace. All right, guys, so it is later in the day. It is still March 26th, 2023, and by the grace of God, I'm now in an Airbnb for the night, and so I'm super excited. I'm actually going to get ready to edit this vlog so that way I can upload it and share with you guys. I have my cup of tea that you guys saw me pour. It's a lemon ginger tea, and I added some sweetener to it. So I'm going to drink my tea, spend some time with the Lord. I have my NLT study Bible. I'll show it to you guys. I've had this Bible since I got saved back in 2016. Very big Bible. Love it for studying scripture. It has commentary at the bottom. It has a concordance and everything. And so, yeah, I'm going to spend some time with the Lord in scripture. I also have my journals here. These two journals. This one right here is my travel journal. I try to journal in it every day since I've been traveling. And so... yeah, so I'll journal how today went, what God did today, and then this journal is what I use to take notes in when I'm studying scripture. If I go to a ministry event and, you know, I'm taking notes during the service, this is what I use. And yeah, I have my laptop. I'm also going to finish watching a sermon from my church that went on today, and I'll share how the Lord did this, right? So all day, you know, I checked out of my hotel room at 2 p.m. And I kind of just hung out in the lobby area. I've been to this hotel before. I actually stayed at this hotel maybe 2 weeks ago when I came out here to visit, and so I've become familiar and, you know, grow to have relationship with the staff there. So, you know, I was able to hang out with them, talk with them, you know, share with them what the Lord is doing in my life, and just the goodness of God, and just testify to them. I ate at the bar. I just had some fruit and some french fries because that's all I really wanted. I'm vegetarian, if you didn't know, and they didn't really have much of an option on the menu, so yeah, I pretty much watched a sermon earlier today, spent some time with the Lord, kind of just chilled out, talked to my friends, talked to the Lord, and just asked the Lord, you know, what do you want me to do? He had me reach out to some people for assistance, but they weren't able to help. So I was like, okay, Lord, well, you know, what we're gonna do now? And it got to be about like 8 o'clock, and I was like, okay, Lord, like, it's almost getting nighttime, you know, people are gonna be, you know, having security, so I'm gonna have to leave the hotel, and, you know, what do you want me to do? And so I happened to check my bank account, and I had like over $100 in there, and so I looked at an Airbnb for the night that was just, well, actually first I looked at the Airbnb for the night that just happened to be available. It was only like $100, and I was like, okay, Lord. So I checked my account, and lo and behold, someone had actually sent me some money. My mother had actually sent me some money, and so I was able to use that to get the Airbnb for the night. And it was just like, wow, God, like, you know, because I hadn't told her that I was, you know, in need of an Airbnb or anything like that, you know. We did talk, and I told her, you know, like, God will provide, you know, all of my needs, all of that stuff, but I didn't tell her specifically what I needed. And so just to see God's faithfulness yet once again, like literally this has been happening every day for the past week. This is going into week 2 now. It's daily provision, manna from heaven, and it's really building my faith, really growing me, causing me to trust in God alone. And I'm thankful for it. A lot of people may not understand it. They may not even agree to it, but at the end of the day, I have to be obedient to God because this is bigger than me. And so I thank God for this Airbnb. I thank God for what he's doing in this experience, how he's blessing people to be a blessing to me, and that I get to share this with y'all in real time, you know. And so even being able to get an Uber, because I had some money in another account that I was able to use to get an Uber to get to the Airbnb. Once I got here, you know, took a shower, put on my PJs, which I have now, made a cup of tea. And yeah, tomorrow my prayer is to be able to find a laundromat or, you know, be able to use someone's washer and dryer so that way I can wash my clothes, because I literally just came with a huge suitcase, Molly, her carrier, and my Glamaholic lifestyle bag. And so yeah, that's how we're rocking. And then once we get settled, then, you know, I'll bring my things from LA here. But for now, I'm just, you know, taking it day by day and being obedient. I'm so thankful, by the way, that I have my electric blanket, like heating pad. I brought that with me in my suitcase, which you can bring on in the airport with you if you didn't know, because like it's still cold here. It's like in the 30-degree weather, but you know, right, this particular Airbnb doesn't have like heating or anything like that, at least a thermostat that I saw, and so I'm so thankful that I have this heating pad to keep my feet warm. And yeah, so I'm just gonna spend some time with the Lord. I will check in with y'all tomorrow. I'm gonna upload this vlog tonight. And yeah, I'll check in with y'all later. Peace.